Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Action and espionage. Brian Donlevy starring in an episode of Dangerous Assignment going back to December 10th, 1952.
Dangerous Assignment. Transcribed starring Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell.
Danger is my assignment. I get sent to a lot of places I can't even pronounce. They all spell the same thing, though, trouble. But when I walk into the commissioner's office, I don't realize that this assignment's going to show me that sometimes the best thing that can happen to a guy is to get caught in the middle of a riot. Morning, Commissioner. You sent for me?
Steve, it looks like we're caught in the middle of another first-class frame-up.
Oh, great. What and where is it this time?
Last night, a band of Austrians slipped across the border into Hungary at a point some 30 miles southeast of Vienna. They attacked guards at a strategic mine under lease to the Hungarian government.
Go on, Commissioner.
The attacking party went on a rampage of looting and burning. 6 Hungarian guards were killed.
How do we fit in the picture?
The attacking force, reported to have been 20 in number, left 3 of its members at the scene dead.
So?
The so-called dead Austrians have been identified as American soldiers.
What?
That's right. GIs attached to our forces in Vienna. Situation is tense, growing worse every minute. We're cooperating with the Army in this matter, so when you get to Vienna, check with intelligence.
All right.
Obviously, we had nothing to do with this raid, Steve, but we've got to prove that, and do it quickly. Well, that's it. You've got your assignment. Good luck.
The National Broadcasting Company is presenting Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy in the role of Steve Mitchell, colorful two-fisted government agent. At all those places of the world where danger and intrigue walk hand in hand, there you will find Steve Mitchell on another Dangerous Assignment.
Sure, I've got my assignment. Get over to Vienna, find out who rigged up the plot to implicate us in a border raid on a Hungarian mine, a free-for-all resulting in the deaths of half a dozen Hungarians and 3 American soldiers. It's early Wednesday evening when my plane sets down. 20 minutes later, I'm in conference with Major Layton, United States Intelligence.
Here are the service records of the 3 GIs, Steve. We're convinced they were kidnapped, murdered, then left at the scene of the skirmish.
When were they first reported missing?
They weren't. You see, they were out on a 3-day pass, due to report back to their company tomorrow. Excuse me. Yes? Good. Send them in, Corporal. Well, that's a relief. And it may be the break we've been waiting for, Steve.
Oh?
Sergeant Monahan's turned up and alive. He went out on pass with the others yesterday.
Sergeant Monahan reporting, sir.
At ease, Sergeant. This is Mr. Mitchell.
Mr. Mitchell?
Sergeant, you heard what happened.
Yes, sir.
You've known Polson, Keller, and Whitlow a long time, haven't you?
Since, Palermo.
The 4 of you went out on pass yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
Where?
A place called Frankel's, regular hangout.
I know the place, Steve. Then what, Sergeant?
Well, I had a brew and left.
At the last you saw of the others?
Yes, sir.
What plans did they have for the rest of the evening, do you know?
Yeah, they were figuring on going over to a nightclub called the Blue Flame. They wanted me to come along, but I had a date.
The Blue Flame, huh? Any special attraction?
Yeah, I got a band that plays some pretty good bop stuff, and,
And what, Sergeant?
Well, Polson knew a girl there. She's a singer. Polish, I think. Her name's Anna. Thought she was pretty great.
Didn't you?
She was, playing him for a sucker, if you ask me.
Her last name wouldn't be Krenko, would it, Sergeant?
Something like that, sir. Couldn't be sure.
Mean anything to you, Major?
Yeah, if it's the same girl. Bad customer, Steve. Clip out is first class.
Been mixed up in black market deals, too.
I see. I think we better have a little chat with this Anna. A quarter of an hour later, the Major parks his car in a dimly lighted side street. I leave him sitting behind the wheel and walk into the Blue Flame nightclub alone. The joint is really jumping, and the cash customers are living it up but crazy. I spot her standing over by the bar, and I push my way through the crowd toward her. I open my wallet, take out the largest bill, and slide it across the bar.
Oh, careful. My drink.
Oh, I'm sorry, miss. I'm very sorry.
Oh, it's quite all right. No harm done.
Clumsy of me. Here, let me buy you another.
Yes. Why not? Cognac, please.
My money here seems to have become a little soggy.
I'm certain the manager will not mind.
Bartender, 2 cognacs, please.
You are an American, are you not?
Yes, in town on business. Little pleasure, too. Never thought I'd run into a place like this, Bebop in Vienna.
Oh, you are fond of this bebop?
Well, back home they don't call me crazy for nothing. Oh, my name's Mitchell, Steve Mitchell.
I am Anna. I work here.
Do you? Well, what do you know? Say, maybe you can help me. I'm looking for a buddy of mine. Served in the Army together during the war. Understand he drops in here quite often.
A soldier?
Yeah, his name's Polson, Dick Polson. Maybe you know him.
Polson? No, I do not believe I know him. Now, you must excuse me, please. I have to prepare for my next number.
How about your drink?
Oh, I will be back. You will wait, please?
I'll wait, Anna. I watch as she disappears through a curtained doorway at the far end of the room. A few minutes later, she's back wearing a different evening gown. The lights go down, the band goes into its intro, and Anna begins to purr into the microphone. I slip through the doorway and down a long hall to her dressing room. I spend the next few minutes giving the place a fast frisk and come up with nothing except a snapshot of Anna and another girl, which I slip into my pocket for future reference. Then I hear someone coming down the hall. I duck into a small closet.
Here you are, my dear. You'll find the money in this envelope. Count it if you wish.
It will not be necessary. Thank you, darling.
Thank you, Anna. You'll be most helpful.
Everything went according to plan, really?
Perfectly. There are still a few matters to be attended to, however.
You are going back tonight?
To Bernaghi? Yes. A demonstration is planned. I must see to certain important details. However, I have a few moments to spare. May I buy you a drink, Anna?
Thank you. I have a drink waiting for me at the bar, Rudy.
Oh?
And an American.
Oh?
I think you will be interested in him. He came in looking for Sergeant Polson.
Polson?
Said he was an old friend.
I see. Well, perhaps he is an old friend, Anna. And then again, he might not be. I think I'd best point this American out to me, Anna. Come along.
I wait till I hear their footsteps fade down the hallway. Then I slip outside. There's a door at the far end of the corridor, and it's open. I ease out into the alley, circle around to the front of the cafe, and watch from the shadows. I don't have long to wait. The gent called Rudy comes out, steps into a long black limousine, gives his chauffeur the nod. The car roars away. I go down the block to where the major is waiting.
What's up, Steve?
I just had a peek at a payoff.
Anna Krenko?
Yeah, for services rendered. It's got something to do with Sergeant Polson, that's for sure. I heard Rudy tell Anna he was going to a place called Bernaghi.
Bernaghi? Well, that's a town just over the border in Hungary. It's only a few miles from the mine.
He said something about a big demonstration.
Sure, it figures. The big build-up, beating of the drums, torchlight parade, the works. All very anti-United States, of course.
Look, Major, I'd like to take in that little soiree across the border. Can you arrange it?
Sure, I can put you in contact with someone. Meanwhile, what about Anna?
Keep an eye on her so we can close in fast. We know she's the contact on this end of the line. I've got to nail the big boy at the other end. It's almost 10 o'clock when I wheel the Major's car into a small hillside village overlooking the Austro-Hungarian border. A few minutes later, I pull up at a small shop and start massaging the front door with my knuckles.
Please, my shop is closed. It is late.
My name's Mitchell, Steve Mitchell.
So?
You're Gustav?
So?
Major Layton get in touch with you?
So? Come in, quickly. Herr Mitchell, this which you propose to do is suicide. The border is heavily patrolled since the affair at the mine.
When can I start?
The Major warned me it would be impossible to convince you. All right, we must leave at once. It will be best if we are not seen together in the village.
Okay, where do we meet?
You will walk down the street 2 blocks, turn left, and when you reach the railroad tracks, turn right, and follow the river until you reach a barn. We will meet there.
Later, I pull up in the shadows of the barn, look out over the river. Over there on the other side is Hungary, and just over the hill on my left is a red glow in the sky. That would be the town where the big demonstration is being staged. I glance at my watch, then I hear a twig snap behind me. I start to turn around, but I'm not fast enough. Something hard catches me on the side of the head. I pitch forward, fall face down into the weeds.
Steve Mitchell will continue his dangerous assignment in just a moment.
December 10th, 1952, Dangerous Assignment on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The Cold War led to a lot of spy shows. That's why you had Dangerous Assignment. You had I Was a Communist for the FBI. You had The Man Called X. Of course, this show, Brian Donlevy's Dangerous Assignment, was actually brought to NBC by Brian Donlevy. He not only brought this show to NBC, he also took the show to syndicated television, where he starred in the show as well, and there are 52 episodes of that floating around out there. Let's get back to Dangerous Assignment starring Brian Donlevy from December 10th, 1952.
Now back to Dangerous Assignment and Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell.
Herr Mitchell!
Let's stop. Hey, what am I doing in the river?
We are almost across. Yeah, I can touch bottom. I arrived in time to see 2 men shove you into the river. I waited until they had gone, then I came in after you. I helped you across.
Thanks.
One of them was wearing a chauffeur's uniform.
Rudy and his driver, probably. Well, where do we go from here, Gustav?
Bernagi is but a few kilometers from here. Come. We climb this bank, cross the road which runs along the top, down the other side of the incline. Then we still stick to the fields and wooded places as we...
Hold it.
What? What?
Look up on the road over to your left.
A patrol?
Yeah. Come on, we've got to get across that road. We make it to cover okay. We work our way through the weeds and underbrush to a nearby forest and shake the patrol off our trail. 20 minutes later, we're on the outskirts of Bernagi. Gustav takes me to an underground station, and we get dry clothes. Then we head for the square in the center of town. The demonstration is going full tilt. Gustav and I blend in with the milling crowd. There's a speaker's platform in the center, and on it sit 6 people, the wives of the dead mine guards. My eyes run along the row, and then suddenly I do a take.
What is it?
That woman on the end.
Attractive.
Yeah, she takes good pictures, too. Look, this photo. Anna and that girl.
Where did you get this?
In Anna's dressing room. She and this babe must be pals. We've got ourselves another lead, Gustav.
Look, she's leaving the platform.
Yeah, quite an act she's putting on, the grief-stricken widow. Hey, the guy who's leading her away.
Yes, he's wearing a chauffeur's uniform.
Yeah, Rudy's driver. We work our our way through the crowd after them. The driver takes the girl over to Rudy's car, parked at one corner of the square. Rudy's inside. We managed to ease close enough to hear him give an address to the driver. It's not far, so we leg it over there. The widow seems to have made a fast recovery from her sorrow. She and Rudy are drinking champagne. After a couple of minutes, he leaves, and the chauffeur drives them away. I pull open the French windows, and we go in.
Who are you?
Never mind. Right now, I want you to start talking about your friends Rudy and Anna.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Save it. You're up to your ears in a very nasty frame-up, and you'd better start spilling fast.
Don't move, any of you.
Who are you?
I will ask the questions. Your identification. Quickly.
There you are, Buster.
United States agent.
What?
What were you expecting?
Oh, please, I am sorry, Mr. Mitchell.
Hey, what is this?
I am Jan Tresena, brother of the dead man who was supposed to be married to this woman.
Oh, he wasn't really, huh?
No. And he also was not a guard at the mine. He was actually a prisoner from a Czech concentration camp.
Keep talking. This is getting more interesting by the moment.
And he was brought here to Banagi to work in the mine with some other prisoners. I followed, hoping to help them escape. I had a plan worked out, but the night before last, 6 of them were taken secretly from the mine.
Sure. They were the 6 guys who were killed and later passed off as Hungarian guards. It's the oldest trick in the world. Hitler used it to create one of the incidents that touched off the last war.
Right.
It's beginning to add up fast. The dead Czech prisoners were passed off as Hungarian guards and the dead American soldiers as Austrian raiders. Nice little deal you're wrapped up in, sister.
Please, I only did what I was told to. I did not know what was happening.
You were hired to pose as a dead guard's wife.
Yes.
Who hired you?
Rudy. He also hired my sister Anna to take one of the American soldiers to her place. But neither of us knew they would be killed. Please, you must believe me.
Who is this Rudy?
He operates the mine on a lease from the government.
And he's the gent behind the deal, huh?
Yes. Please get me across the border and I will be a witness.
I think we can arrange that. Take her to the underground station and wait for me, Gustav.
All right. Come.
Jan, we'd be sitting pretty if we had any proof of all this, but without it, we've got nothing.
I know.
It beats me how those prisoners can be erased like that with no questions asked.
Well, who is to ask the questions? The prisoners are very expendable. Their records are sent back to the camp from which they came, simply marked deceased. That is the end of it. No questions asked. No one asks questions because everyone is afraid.
Wait a minute. Their records?
Records?
Sure. If we could get our hands on them, we could bust this thing wide open. Those records must have fingerprints, photos, and the works. That would be proof that these dead guys weren't as advertised.
Wait. You think the records could still be in the mine office?
It's possible. Could be they'd hold them for a while until this thing blows over before they send them back. You said you had a plan worked out to get your brother out of the mine compound. Could we use it to get in?
Yes. Yes, I believe we could. You see, the shift changes at midnight. At that moment, 2 grenades were to demolish the south fence. The prisoners were to make a break for it.
Yeah. During the confusion, we could probably sneak in, all right. There's just one hitch, though. Where do we get the grenades?
Will these do, Mr. Mitchell?
Nothing like being prepared, Jan. Yeah, they'll do fine. We climb the hills outside of town until we get to a spot overlooking the mine. There's a barbed wire fence, searchlights, guards, the works. In the center of the compound is a small office building. At midnight, the shift changes.
Now, Mitchell.
Jan uncorks both grenades and lobs them down beside the fence.
It worked. A hole in the fence. Come on.
The prisoners are milling around, fighting with the guards. We slip through the hole in the fence unnoticed and head for the office. Then a reception committee steps out from behind the door.
Hold it. Both of you.
Well, my old friend Rudy. Judging from those records in your hand, you must have had the same idea we did.
When I realized you were still alive, it occurred to me you might try to get the records of the 6 prisoners. I thought I had better remove them.
You had 6 prisoners and 3 U.S. soldiers killed in cold blood to stage this little incident of yours.
Oh, it did not start out as an incident. You see, my records here at the mine would not stand inspection.
You mean you had your payroll padded?
Quite a bit, I'm afraid.
I think I get it. You stage a raid, which results in killing a few guards, and that clears up the padded payroll.
And then it occurred to me I had created something of greater value than I imagined.
Sure, you manufacture an incident and sell it to your government. Got all the angles figured, huh, Rudy?
Yes, including what I will do with you, too.
Oh?
You are trespassers. Need I say more?
No, I get the message.
The window, get down!
Yeah.
Get back, Mitchell!
Let go of the gun, let go. Thanks, Rudy. You took your eyes off me just long enough.
December 10th, 1952, Dangerous Assignment on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion follows these important messages from your favorite radio station. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox here on your favorite station. Now the conclusion of Dangerous Assignment starring Brian Donlevy, December 10th, 1952.
And thanks for these records. They're enough to blow this frame sky high.
You've heard my guards outside mopping up. You will never leave this place alive.
You're on, Rudy. Look out the window.
Well, looks like the prisoners have the upper hand. They've overpowered the guards.
What?
Before any reinforcements arrive, Mitchell will have ample opportunity to get back to Gustav and across the border.
Those prisoners out there, they're not trying to escape. They're just standing there staring at the window.
Could be they'd like to have a little talk with you about the 6 you killed, Rudy.
No, Mitchell, you must protect me.
Me? You kidding? I'm just a trespasser, remember?
Well, then take me with you now.
Okay. I'm going to the underground headquarters. I'm sure they'd be happy to see you.
Underground?
Yeah, looks like you lose either way, Rudy. You tried to play both sides against each other, and you wound up right smack in the middle. Come on, Jan. Let's get out of here.
Our star, Brian Donlevy, will return in just a moment. Do you remember that old saying, a stitch in time saves 9? Well, unlike a lot of old proverbs, this one really works, whether you apply it to a chair with loose rungs or your health. Suppose you learned that a few dollars spent now could be that stitch in time that might save your health or the health of your family in the year to come. Sound like a good proposition? Well, here's how it's done. Just buy Christmas seals this Christmas. Yes, the money we spend for Christmas seals now goes for case finding, health education, medical research, and rehabilitation to help fight tuberculosis during the next year. Christmas seal money spent now helps protect us all from the number one killer among infectious diseases, TB. It's the stitch in time that saves human lives and health, prevents economic chaos and broken homes, which often follow in the wake of TB. Don't say it couldn't happen to you, it can. But you take out a little insurance against it, save lives and prevent misery, your own and your neighbors', when you buy Christmas seals.
Next week, Turkey. A booby trap, and I'm the booby.
And that will be Steve Mitchell's Dangerous Assignment next week. Included in tonight's cast were Paul Duboff, Bob O'Connor, Vivi Janis, Paul Frees, and Jeannie Tatum. This is John Storm speaking. Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell, with Herb Butterfield as the commissioner, is written by Bob Reif and Adrian Jondeau, and is directed by Bill Karn. Be with us again next week at this time, when Brian Donlevy, starring in the role of Steve Mitchell, will embark on another transcribed Dangerous Assignment.
From December 10th, 1952, Dangerous Assignment. You're listening to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox here on your favorite radio station. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, let's catch up with the Cinnamon Bear. This episode from December 10th, 1937, The Wintergreen Witch.
And here's the Cinnamon Bear.
Judy and Jimmy and the Cinnamon Bear were in a pretty pickle when we saw them last. They found the Crazy Quilt Dragon all right, but he'd been thrown into a short trance, as he called it, by the Wintergreen Witch, who made off with the Silver Star. So there was nothing to do but to try and find her. But what do you think? Nobody knew how to get out of the magic forest and back into the witch's house. Then Jimmy remembered the little whistle which Fifo, the gentle giant, had given him, with instructions to blow it 3 times if help was needed. But Jimmy couldn't blow it loud enough, so Crazy Quilt volunteered for the job and took such a deep breath that he swallowed it. And as Jimmy says,
"This is the limit. What'd you have to go and swallow the whistle for?"
"Couldn't help it. Slip."
Oh, dear. Now we'll just have to walk, and maybe we'll never be able to get out of this old forest.
What's the matter, Crazy Quilt?
He's got the hiccups. And every time he hiccups, it blows the whistle.
Quick, Crazy Quilt, do it again. That's swell. You blew it 3 times.
Good. Maybe Fifo will come to our rescue.
Bless my stuffing, I can hear him now.
That's enough, Crazy Quilt. Fifo heard you.
Can't stop. It just keeps...
Here I am, my little friends. Just as I said I'd be. But my gracious, you don't have to blow the whistle so many times.
We're not doing it on purpose, Fifo. The Crazy Quilt Dragon's got it caught in his throat.
And every time he hiccups,
it whistles.
Well. Ho, 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 ho. I'll fix that. Just a pat on the back.
There it is.
Oh, what an ordeal. Why does everything happen to me?
Because you're always sticking your Crazy Quilt nose in somebody else's business, that's why.
So this is the Crazy Quilt Dragon you were looking for. And did he give you back your silver star?
No, he didn't, Fifo, because the Wintergreen Witch did something magic to him and made him bring it to her.
Crazy Quilt says she's a terrible old witch. Does she scare you, Fifo?
It all depends on what color she is.
That's right. Didn't you say she changed colors, Crazy Quilt?
Definitely. And you didn't believe me, Smarty. She changed from green to purple to red.
Oh, that's bad. When she's all right, she stays green. But when she gets a notion to practice magic, she goes all sorts of colors.
Well, no matter what color she gets, we've got to find her.
Yes, and that's why we called for you, Fifo. We thought maybe you'd be real nice and take us back to the place where we came through the picture frame. We don't know which way to go.
I'd be glad to, only I'm sorry to see you leave the magic forest. It's awful lonesome here. Maybe you can come back and see me again, huh?
Willikers, I don't see how we can, Fifo, on account of we've got to get our star and get back home before Christmas.
Oh, well, maybe someday you can. All right, everybody. I'll put the dragon on my left shoulder and the rest of you on my right. Up you go.
way up in the air again.
My, this is something new for me. My, you are a whopper of a giant, FIFO. Simply a whopper.
Hold tight. Here we go. Here we are, folks. End of the trip.
What? So soon?
Sure. FIFO's no slowpoke. Only takes a few of his big steps to get you someplace in a hurry.
All right, now. Down you go.
Gee, we're right where we came in, too. I can see right through the trees into the Wintergreen Witch's house.
Sure enough. There's a fireplace and all the pots in front of it.
Well, my friends, I wish I were small enough to go through the picture frame with you, but that's impossible. So I'll just have to say goodbye and good luck.
Goodbye, FIFO. We'll never, never forget you.
You bet. And thanks a million.
Goodbye. And I hope the witch stays green.
Goodbye,
FIFO.
All right, now, steel yourselves, everybody, and through the picture frame.
Okay, Cinnamon Bear. Here I go.
And me.
And reluctantly, I.
The room is empty. Not a soul here.
Splendid, splendid. Oh,
The
Wintergreen Witch.
Right, my pretty dears, right. Thought I wasn't here, eh?
Hold my hand, Jimmy.
Excuse me, but I just remembered I left the water running in the bathtub. I'll see you later.
Me too. Come on, children. Out the door.
It closed itself.
Hurry, back through the picture frame.
Oh, it's nothing but a flat painted picture now.
Oh, trapped, doomed. This is the end.
Jiminy crickets. Look at the witch. She's changing colors.
Green and blue and purple and red.
Sit down, my dainties. Sit down and make yourselves comfortable, because you'll be here a long time. A long, long time.
What are you going to do, Mrs. Witch?
You'll find out. And don't call me Mrs. Witch.
Please, Mrs. Wintergreen, give us our silver star and let us go.
Yes, please give it back.
We've come an awful long ways to get it.
And after all, madam, what does a wonderful sorceress with your great power want with a paltry Christmas tree ornament?
I want it for my magic forest. That's something I've never had before. I'm going to hang it in the sky over the Black Lake.
Well, if we can't have the star, would you mind if we just sort of moseyed along?
No, you don't. I have other plans, my pretties. Other plans.
Well, I bet you can't do anything to Judy and me, because we belong to the USA. And I bet you can't magic any American citizens, so there.
Besides, we don't believe in witches anyhow. They're just to scare people on Halloween.
So you don't believe the Wintergreen Witch can magic things, eh? I shall demonstrate. First, I open the door. Now, see how beautiful and clear it is outside?
Indeed, and how I'd like to be outside.
Now I'll close the door. And mumbo, jumbo, hubba dubba, ooh. Now I open the door again.
Gee willikers, look!
It's raining cats and dogs.
There. You've heard of it raining cats and dogs, haven't you?
Yes, Mrs. Wintergreen.
Now you've not only heard, but seen it. Do you still think the Wintergreen Witch can magic things?
Oh, no. You're truly wonderful. But won't you please let us go?
Yes, pretty please. We haven't done anything to you.
No, but I'm going to do something to you.
Oh.
There are several things I need around the house or in the magic forest, and you pretties have come just at the right moment. First, I think I'll change you twins into white mice.
Oh, please don't. Not mice. I don't like them at all.
And this crazy quilt dragon will look beautiful after I've changed him into a pincushion.
Oh, agony.
And as for this funny little bear, he'll make a lovely doormat with welcome on his tummy.
Oh, me poor stuffings.
Now be quiet while I prepare my magic.
Jimmy, if we only had something to make her forget about us and the silver star, Have you got anything she might like?
Gee, I don't think she'd like my knife, and my swell wristwatch is home in my bureau drawer.
I've got it. Maybe she'd like my little looking glass. Mrs. Wintergreen?
Yes, my pretty dear?
I have something much nicer than the Silver Star for you, and it's ever so much shinier. Look.
Ah! Take it away! Take it away! Don't you know witches can't stand to see their own faces? Take it away!
What a break. Keep on showing it to her, Judy.
No. Take it away. I'll do anything you ask, anything.
All right. First, you've got to let us go.
And promise not to do anything to us after we leave.
Oh, yes. But take that dreadful looking glass with you.
And you've got to give us back our Silver Star.
Oh, even that. Here!
Oh, Jimmy, at last we've got it back.
Open the door, witch, and make it snappy.
And foo for you, Mrs. Wintergreen. Come along, children.
Isn't it swell, Judy? We've got the star and everything.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, but we can't stop to admire it now. We got to rush right down to the shore and get back across the root beer ocean. Come on, hurry, everybody.
Do you think you can swim us all the way back, Crazy Quilt?
Absolutely. I'm plenty full of corks to manage it. Climb aboard.
I think I'd better carry the star.
But suppose a wave washes it away or another whale swallows it.
Pardon the suggestion, but I've an ideal place for it. My hind pocket, the one under that big orange patch. It's waterproof and has a zipper.
Okay, Crazy Quilt, unzip.
With pleasure. And in it goes. Zip again. And safe and sound. And hold on, my friends, for it's cheerio and into the root beer ocean.
You sure made good time, Crazy Quilt. Here we are back on the Maybeland mainland.
I can hardly believe it.
We're ever so grateful, Crazy Quilt.
Oh, not at all. But now that we're all hunky-dory, I must ask you to excuse me while I sit down and rest a bit from my strenuous swim.
Sure. You've got it coming to you, all right.
Uh-huh. I think this would be a lovely spot right here in the lee of this rock. There. Now I'll just lean back and...
What was that?
Oh, I fear oh, my friends. Oh, I'm blushing red. Well, behold the star.
Willikers, it's busted.
In a dozen pieces.
And that's what I call very, very bad luck. After all the perilous adventures our friends have been through in order to recapture their silver star, this is really a blow. A lost star is bad enough, but a broken one is terrible. Just the same, I'll be with you next time to see what they're going to do about it.
December 10th, 1937, the continuing story of the Cinnamon Bear here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Ted over at RadioMemories.com has the complete set of the Cinnamon Bear in great quality on cassette, CD, or flash drive for your computer, so you can play it for your kids as the run-up to Christmas continues here. That's at RadioMemories.com. RadioMemories.com. Also, visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. There, you can stream our shows on demand. You can learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can contact me there. You can also find all of our social media links. You can find places where our shows are available for download. And you can also buy me a coffee. Now, the good part about that buy me a coffee money, and I want to thank so many of you who have done it, is that buy me a coffee money goes not only to continue to help us build our classic radio collection, it also helps us keep our distribution channels so we continue to be heard on your favorite radio station. That's at classicradio.stream. Classicradio.stream. Thanks for tuning in. Please thank this station, support their advertisers, and as always, tell your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, here on your favorite radio station.